Hello, this is Mrs. McCullough. I'm coming to you with another lesson on how readers figure out new vocabulary words when they're reading. It's a part of this series still, where readers question and predict. So far, we've learned the song. You want to sing it with me? Read, read, read the text, question while you go. Predict what will happen next. Read on so you'll know. Remember the song? Yeah, and so we've been learning how you preview the text. You put on your mask and you're an information thief. We've also learned about how when you start reading, you wonder about things. I wonder if, this will happen. I wonder why that took so long. That we also get confused. We get confused and we're like, what's that mean? What's that word mean? I don't understand. We get confused. But you know what we do? We keep reading. Yeah, we keep reading and we use some tools to help ourselves. We talked about the text features when we're trying to figure out a word. We talked about the glossary when we're trying to figure out a word. And this whole time we keep reading. We predict what will happen in the text by collecting the details and thinking about those memories and patterns and having that prediction. And then we read on so you'll know. We keep reading. Whether we go to the glossary to figure out the word, then we come back and we keep reading to help us understand. Okay, so today, though, is all about how you can use another type of tool that the author gives you to figure out these words when you're in the middle of this question while you go and you're confused. How can you figure out the words without a glossary? What if it's a book that doesn't have a glossary? What if it's a book that doesn't have a bunch of pictures and photographs to give you clues? Here's the thing. The author gives you what we call context clues. Context clues? Yeah, that's a fancy grown-up word. I know. Let me tell you what this means. This means that the author gives you other clues in the text, in the sentences, in the paragraphs that you're reading to help you figure out what that word means. Now, there's a secret. In order to figure out what that word means based on the context clues that the author already put in, you got to decide. Am I going to reverse? Am I going to go back and reread a sentence or two because the author already gave me clues? I just didn't realize they were clues yet. Or am I going to fast forward? Am I going to go forward in the passage a sentence or two and see if the author gives me any new clues? Okay, so what's all this fast forward and reverse business? Well, you guys, you already do this, okay? Remember when we were looking at a video? So I'm on YouTube on my iPad and I have a video here. Remember when we learned about the coyote and the badger? Okay, so if I hit play and it starts running, you know how I can reverse by tapping back and it'll play it again? Watch, reverse and it goes straight back. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're either going to reverse or we're going to hit this side and go fast forward and go ahead a little bit. That's all we're going to do. Okay, so let me show you. Let's go into this passage with coyote and badger. Remember, it's from New Zealand, and we were looking at it at about a second grade level. But to show you this, I'm going to move it up to about a fourth grade level, okay? So it's the same article. We learned about the coyote and the badger traveling together. We learned about how, he bowed down. We saw that in the video. But now I want to take us to this place. I want to take us to this section where it says habitat loss. You see that? So now I'm going to read in this section here. Wild animals travel and move around to hunt or migrate. And then my brain says, migrate? What's that word mean? Okay, so now I have to use context clues because this picture is not going to help me. And there's no glossary in this article. So watch, I'm going to reverse. I'm going to read the previous sentence. Wild animals travel and move around to hunt or migrate. Okay, so migrate must mean that they travel and move around to hunt or find food. So they're on the move. That's what migrate must mean. You see, when I was confused, I went back to reread, and then the author gave me some clues to help me figure it out. Okay, so let's read the next line. As humans live and build on more land, there are fewer places for wildlife to live. This is called habitat loss. Habitat loss? What does that mean? Now, I could reverse. Okay, let's try that. As humans live and build on more land, there are fewer places for wildlife to live. That is called habitat loss. Oh, when I reverse, I see humans live and they build houses, and then there aren't as many like woods and things for the wildlife to live. So they lose their habitat. They lose their home. Oh, the author gave me context clues to help me when I was confused about a new word or a new term. Okay, let's try another one. Let's go down here to the bottom sentence. We hope this video will inspire people to treat coyotes with compassion. Compassion? What does that word mean? Well, I can go back to reread. I can reverse. Okay? We hope this video will inspire people to treat coyotes with compassion. Okay, so it's something about how you treat the animals, but I'm still not quite sure. Maybe I should fast forward. Maybe I should read on. Okay, so let's do that. Instead of cruelty. Wait a minute. Treat coyotes with compassion instead of cruelty. Oh, you know what the author did here? He gave me a context clue. He didn't tell me what compassion meant, but he tells me it's the opposite. Okay? Instead of cruelty. Well, cruel, I know that means mean. So compassion is the opposite of mean. So treat them fairly, treat them nicely, treat them with compassion. Okay, so guys, this is what I want you to remember, that when you are reading, then you can use some of the context clues that the author has given you. When you come to a word that you don't know and you're like, instead of just flipping out, asking the teacher, stopping right here, not going any further in the text, then what you can do is you can think about those context clues, and you can either reverse or you can fast forward to see if the author gave you any more clues, okay? And that's especially true when there's no glossary, when there's no pictures to help. Okay, I want you to try it. You ready? Okay, so here's the book that we were working on the other day. Who Was Here? Remember? And it was all about the animal tracks. Remember that? We saw the tracks and then we were looking at those clues. That was helping us with the prediction. Remember? Okay, so there's a lot of words in here. Maybe we don't know what they mean. So can we check the picture? Sure, you could check the picture maybe to help you. But sometimes the picture doesn't give you enough information. Well, can we go to the glossary? Sure, let's head to the glossary. Let's see here. Oh, that's the last page, and that's the last page. Okay, so there's no glossary. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do to help ourselves? Remember, when you're confused, then the author will give you context clues. And what do? You either go back to reread or you fast forward. Remember, that's what you do. You go back to reread or you fast forward. Yeah. Okay, so let's try it. You ready? Remember when we were reading this section about the wolf and the moose? Okay, let's see if there are any words in here that maybe we're not sure about. This is a gray wolf. Wolf tracks look like huge dog tracks. Wolves and dogs are members of the same animal family. Gray wolves live together in packs. Packs? Like a pack of gum? Like, what's that mean? Kind of confused. Okay, so let's reverse. Let's go back. back and see if it tells us anything. Wolves live together in packs. Okay, so together. So several of them together. So a group of wolves. Oh, look, let's fast forward. Or groups. Oh, you see that? The author gave us a clue. If we fast forward, if we read on to the end of this sentence, or maybe into the next sentence, the author gives us context clues. Okay, that's what we're going to try to do today. Okay, so let's see. Moose are the largest type of deer. Male moose may weigh more than 1,400 pounds, 635 kilograms. They have wide cloven. Cloven? Eh? You know what that word means? Yeah, can't check the picture. I mean, you can. There's not really anything there. Can't check a glossary. It doesn't have it. What should we do? Should we reverse? Okay, let's do it. They have wide cloven. Did that help? No? Should we fast forward? Or split hooves that help them. What? Okay, so what does cloven mean? Split. Yeah, split. Remember? In the tracks, it was split. This is their hoof, but then there's a split down the middle. Right. Oh, that's a new word. Cloven or split. Did you know that word? So how did we help ourselves? We reversed. Didn't work. We fast forward. That's where we found it. Okay. All right. Let's try another one. I'm going to go here to a different page. All right. Let's go to the section with the beaver. And let's go down here to this sentence. They use tree trunks, branches, and mud to build dams and rivers, and also to build their lodges. Lodges? What's a lodge? Lodges. Like a lozenge in their throat? No, that doesn't seem right. Okay, so we could check the picture. Okay, it's a bunch of sticks. Is that what a lodge is? Is there a glossary? Nope. What are we going to do? We're going to reverse? Okay, let's try it. They use tree trunks, branches, and mud to build dams and rivers, and also to build their lodges. Did that help? No. Okay, what are we going to do? Fast forward, keep reading. To build their lodges or homes. Ding, 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 ding. Did we get an answer? What's a lodge? A home. Yeah, like a nest is a home for a bird. A lodge is a home for a beaver. Yes. Okay, so guys, you're doing it. You're actually getting it. So here's what I want you to remember. When there are words that you're unsure of, and you don't have a glossary or the picture doesn't help you, the author sometimes gives you more words in the sentences. So you have to remember, either you reverse or you fast forward and see if you can collect any more context clues to figure out what those words mean. All right, well, I have a couple more pages where you could actually do this in this book. So I'm going to fast forward and I'm going to show you. On this page, it's all about the camel. And so, you could read the clues. You remember reading the clues, maybe when you read it on your own, and then read about the camel and the snake and see if there are any words that you're unsure of, and see if the author gives you some clues in the sentences to help you figure it out. And there's another one. There's another one that I think would be really good. And it's all about the jaguar. So, of course, you can read the clues about the jaguar. But on this page where it's explaining the jaguar, then why don't you read and see if there are any words where you're like, I don't know what that means. And then see if the author gives you any more clues. You can reverse a sentence or two. Usually that's where we find our context clues, or you can go fast forward a sentence or two. Okay. And then I am going to put a whole new book in here, a whole new book called Service Dogs. And this one allows you to do all kinds of things. It allows you to check the picture. It allows you to check the picture glossary in the back. And it also gives you more clues in the sentences. So remember, you can reverse or you can fast forward to figure out what some of the words mean in this text. So guys, that's the assignment if you were in Mrs. McCullough's class. You would be using the text features, the pictures, the glossary, you would be rereading or fast forwarding to figure out what unknown new words mean when you're confused. But you know what? Your teacher might have an even better idea.